Today, I'm going to teach you how to stop puppy biting fast. While puppy biting is completely normal, we want to make sure that we teach our new puppy how to bite toys and not our hands. Right, buddy? Oh, you're gonna do a shake. Okay, that's good. Most people tend to focus on the C, what happens right after their puppy bites. So their puppy bites, they react to it by doing something, right? They respond, we have to. It hurts. So naturally we react. But if we do that over and over again, guess what? Our puppies learn a pattern of I bite Amy, I get attention. I bite Amy, she looks at me. I bite Amy, she talks to me. So if we get stuck on the C side, it can be problematic. If I can intervene before the puppy biting happens, then it never gets practiced. And because it's not getting practiced, it's not becoming a habit. That's a huge win. Now I know that sounds great, but how do we do that? Today I'm going to walk you through the ABCs of dog training and how it relates to biting. A is whatever happens before your dog bites or mouths you. B is the actual behavior, that's your dog biting. And C is whatever happens right after your puppy bites you. It's the A and the C pieces that we get to work with and help change in order for our dog to choose better behavior. Let me walk you through the process, as I know it's important to know what to do in the moment when you've missed it, you weren't able to anticipate, and your puppy's currently biting you. You need to have a plan in place, but then let me show you how next time you can stay ahead of the behavior. Let's say that you're playing with your puppy and they go for your ankle. My only option at this point is to deal with the C, or the consequence. What happens after my puppy's biting? So they're currently biting me, I have to do something about it. I'm going to interrupt with a sound or noise that gets my dog's attention. I don't want to scare them, I just want to surprise them. So I find a simple little or is enough that my puppy goes, whoa, what? And they let go of the pant or ankle. Have some fun today and experiment with your puppy. What gets their attention? Is there a sound that you can make that will interrupt or redirect them quickly? As soon as they let go of the pant or ankle, I can immediately interrupt and redirect, possibly with a little treat, put it right on their nose, and then lure them away from me. Or even better, grab a toy that's close by, insert it into their mouth, and maybe you can play a gentle game of tug as you walk around the room together. Either the food or the toy will allow me to then redirect my puppy if needed to their crate or their pen or behind some barrier where they can't just keep coming back to bite my ankle. Cueing a simple behavior like a touch or a watch me is another great way to redirect your dog and then reward them for it. So a simple yes and a little food reward can really keep them engaged, and it changes the channel of their brain. They're no longer focused on biting, they're now focused on working, training. How do I get that next food reward from Amy? It really helps to always have a training pouch available. If I can just wear this handy little thing on my hip and I always have something inside that my puppy loves, I can easily redirect them. Food works great. Most puppies love food. If yours doesn't, that's okay too. Squeaky toys, whatever works for you, keep that in your pocket as well. But a little training pouch can go a long way in being ready to redirect our puppy. After you've done the initial redirection with a touch or a watch me, try something with a little longer duration, like a downstay or a go to bed. This will help your puppy forget that they were even interested in biting you in the first place. If you have time to do a mini training session, great, you can keep going. If you don't, I completely understand. We all have busy lives. So you can simply redirect your puppy at that point to a crate with a chew. You can put them in their exercise pen where they can play and entertain themselves. You can even tether your dog if needed, close by to wherever you're working. So if you're in your office doing some emails, tether your puppy close by and make sure they have a toy or chew to play with. Now that I've redirected my dog, this is where the A comes in. Next time I see my puppy enter the room, or next time I let my puppy out of their crate or pen, I'm going to anticipate. I'm going to assume that they're going to run over and probably try to bite or mouth my ankle because my ankles are fun, they move, right? So we want to prevent. I see my puppy running towards me, I'm going to pop out a target hand, down low, lure my puppy into a sit, and show them how to greet me when they come over to me. That means they run across the room, target hand, lure my puppy into a sit, I mark yes, I pay them. Puppy runs across the room to me, I anticipate, I pop out a target hand, I lure them into a sit, I mark yes, I pay them. This is the new pattern. I run to Amy, I sit. I run to Amy, I sit. I run to Amy, I sit. They get paid for that, and because they're getting paid for that, or because they're getting good rewards for that, they're going to repeat that behavior. The next step would be to set up training sessions where I walk through a room, maybe I take a couple steps, my puppy sits and I reward them. I take a couple steps, my puppy sits, I reward them. And I'll start to practice this in everyday scenarios where this behavior, prior behavior of biting my ankles usually happened. And now I'm changing the pattern. I'm changing the way my puppy reacts when they see me moving in a room. So remember, show your puppy what you want them to do before they do the unwanted behavior. Pop out that target hand, lure them into a sit, lure them into a down. They don't have to know any of the cues for these behaviors. You can simply use a little food reward from your pouch. Remember, you have it handy. Put it right on their nose and you can spin them in a circle. You can help them lay down. You can help them roll over. There's so many good behaviors you can help them do for a small food reward. Make sure you notice when they're doing the good, calm behavior. It's quiet, so it's easy to miss. It doesn't bother us, it's not loud, it doesn't hurt. So oftentimes we miss the good. If you see your puppy sitting, reward them, and they're more likely to continue sitting. To be effective, I need to have a plan in mind when my puppy's out and about with us. So we start simply. We start with 1 to 2 steps. My puppy sits, I mark yes and reward them. And then I'll take a couple more steps and I'll mark yes and reward them. And then I'll do a few more steps and we'll build up to where I can run through that room, do jumping jacks, push-ups, whatever. I can move and my puppy learns not to go for the movement of my ankles or hands. You'll notice that your puppy starts to get very patient with your movements and they don't go for those movements anymore. They've learned that if they wait and back off, good things happen. And if I'm not in training mode, then I'm preventing. So my puppy's in a crate, they're in a pen, or they're tethered with a good chew or toys that they love to entertain themselves. This way, I can get things done without the need to constantly redirect my puppy. I promise, preventing and managing while you teach new behavior is the best way to go and the fastest way to get results. Yes, there will be times when the biting and mouthing happens and you weren't able to prevent it. So we handle the C side of the ABCs by interrupting right away with a sound or a noise, then redirecting our puppy onto something better. But do your best to remain on the A side of the ABCs as to prevent habits from forming. We want to spend 90% of our time on the A side of the ABCs, not the C side. If you see your dog wanting to play, interrupt before they get to you. Lure them into a sit first, then use a squeaky toy to engage them in a gentle game of tug. You can anticipate what they will do when they get there, so make sure you give them a better job to do before you are required to react on the C side of things. Make sense? Teach your dog to do the basic behaviors, like a sit, a down stay, a go to bed, and then you can use these as needed to prevent the unwanted behavior from happening. If you need any help teaching your dog how to do the basics or even the more advanced things, we've got your back here at Baxter and Bella. We'd love to coach you on how to train your dog from home. Try to stay one step ahead of your puppy if possible. Give them a task to do, show them how to do it if needed, reward them for that, and you'll see that behavior, the good behavior, happen more often. Once you understand this concept, training your dog becomes a lot easier. One last tip on puppy biting. If you notice your puppy being excessively bitey or mouthy, they're most likely tired and they need a nap. So make sure your puppy gets regularly scheduled naps throughout the day and you'll see that overall their biting goes way down. And that's a wrap. If you like this video and want to see more, you can check it out right over here.